Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Mapping Record Keeping Work Orders Oh My, a tour of Axiom Cemetery Management Solution. We're just going to give it another minute or two because we still have some people logging on, so we'll be right back.
Lauren, how many people do we have on today so far?
Yeah, so it looks like we have a good amount logged on so far. If you want to go ahead and get started. Today, thank you everyone for joining us for today's webinar, Mapping Record Keeping Work Orders Oh My, a tour of Axiom Cemetery Management Solution. My name is Lauren Hogan and I'm a marketing specialist here at JMT. We're very excited to have our own Kent Elkins joining us today. So just a couple of housekeeping notes before I turn it over to Kent. If you have any questions, we're going to wait and save those all until the end of the webinar, and then we can answer them following the webinar as well. And then we'll also send a recording of the slides and handout, or and the recording of the webinar and handouts along with the recording after the webinar is concluded. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, Kent, to get us started.
Thank you very much, Lauren. And get started a little bit with the agenda. First, we're going to discuss a little bit about JMT and Axiom. And then why would you want to make a change? And then, of course, the final agenda would be the solution. So I'm Ken Elkins. I am actually very new to the software industry. However, I've been in the cemetery funeral home industry for over 33 years, held numerous positions throughout my career, and actually started out in a family-owned cemeteries. We actually ran 4 down in East Tennessee. And I have been on different software platforms over the years. Worked a lot with a lot of different cemeteries and funeral homes that didn't even have software, and a lot of you guys are still there, still working with paper and then off of maps. So a little bit about JMT. Jackie Tiso actually started a nonprofit software implementation system back over 30 years ago. And she actually purchased Axiom back in January of 2020 from John and Ann Fields. It was actually built in Melbourne, Australia. John and Ann wanted to retire, and so Jackie thought this was and is the best platform that that could actually be purchased out there. And so with that, she has did a lot to improve it over the year and a half that she's had it. And it's award-winning organization for growth. It's unbelievable. And just a little bit about our offices. We've got one in Patterson, New York, one in Nashville, Tennessee, one in Austin, Texas, and one in Melbourne, Australia. And this is just a few of the clients that we have over the years. And what we do is we build strong partnerships with you guys in order to for us to facilitate your all's needs. And just a few things of what JMT actually does. We provide nonprofit financial reporting, budget management, CRM, which is customer relation management tool, close management. We are cloud hosting. And so we have human resource tools also and workflow tools. Issues we commonly try to solve with cemeteries. As I mentioned earlier, reliance on paper and record keeping. It's a huge process. And then, if you're still on paper, then it lacks a lot of confidence in your burial records. where I've been in the cemetery industry over the years, we actually had to go out and probe every single grave that we were getting ready to dig just to make sure that, there wasn't a vault buried in there. Lack of visibility in the cemetery operations, especially if you've got an active sales force, you want to be able to see what your sales counselors are doing out there. And this one right here is just really scary, is that disaster. A fire could happen, a flood could happen, and you can lose all of your records in your cemetery, especially when they're just on paper. And then tracking, of course, we can track pretty much just about anything that you guys need. So what is the potential cost to your organization for doing nothing? Potential lawsuit. One lawsuit, one wrongful burial can make your insurance cost go through the roof. And more burial plots that are recorded, and turning people in a taken spot. There again, lawsuit, creating a bad experience for customers. And I know I can feel your all's pain points out there when a customer comes in looking for a loved one, and you're having to dig through tons of paperwork just trying to find where this individual is buried at. Whereas with this solution, it's right there at your fingertips. And with not being organized, it creates a lot of bad morale, in the workplace itself. And as I said about the disaster recovery, and just, through the pandemic that we just went through, with burial records being in one place, i.e. the office, is that, you can't communicate that to families, if they have lost a loved one, whereas this is all, on the web. Then how's it affecting your cemetery? Attorneys are very expensive, lawsuits, potential loss of revenue. When you're having to make a family wait for 30 minutes to 45 minutes before you can actually locate a loved one, and they might have wanted spaces right next to them, then they're going to look probably somewhere else because your records was not up to date. And then client experience is not consistent. And that's something that I know a lot of cemeteries deal with, is how one counselor actually, talks to one family, how long they take the process to find either a loved one or a space. I was at a cemetery a few years back, and it took two people 3 hours to find 4 spaces together in a cemetery. Whereas with this, you wouldn't have that. So this Axiom Solution, this is the only true end-to-end solution that I have actually seen over my 33 years. It has operations, mapping, it even has a kiosk search, it is mobile, and it has HR and finance, it has marketing and sales, and even has a funeral home module. And folks, I hope I'm not going too fast. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but sorry. Operation, it does have mail merge, assist management, cremation process, if you all have a retort, or you're just looking for the trend to see if your cremations are going up or if they're staying consistently flat. Reservations. In our system, you can actually reserve a space and you can set the parameters for 10 days, 15 days, 30 days. It is GIS based, GPS mapping, inventory management, and the information that it can provide. It stores your leads because it does have a CRM. Opportunities, mobile sales, which is something that counselors have been asking for years, especially since technology has gone through the roof. Sales management. As I mentioned earlier, the sales manager, the general manager, the operations manager, can see exactly what the team is doing. Locations, memorial history, that is something that I know that, especially if you're tracking it just by paper and not having an organized system to whereas you can go in and check where that memorial is from it being ordered from the time it gets delivered. And, because the families, they call in and they want to know where their mom and dad's memorial is. Contract deeds, Then, of course, interments, cremation, interments, entombments, trade-ins, transfers, pre-need, at-need. And then the financial portion of it also does commissions, and then also keeps up with payments, revenue control, trusting. It does, your perpetual care trust, your merchandise trust. And one thing I really like about it is too, that you can actually do a contract through the system. You can do it either through the mapping, or you can do it through the CMS based. And, in service information, this is something that a lot of folks are wanting. I've been at several cemeteries. I had one that sent us in, they were doing genealogy, that actually sent us in 113 names for us to look up. And having to do that manually is just impossible. Whereas you can actually put a link on your website and they can actually do that themselves. And then, it has resource management, and task, that's something that, and this has happened to all of us. We come in with a plan in the morning, we've got this, then Miss McGillicuddy calls. And then, of course, everything goes haywire. So this task that you were going to do that morning has now just been forgotten about. Whereas in our system, you can set these reminders and it will get you back on track. Lauren, can you hear me good? Okay. And then right when you hop on the system, it has the interactive dashboard, which you guys, this is totally customizable. Whereas this one right here that we built, it's got property units by the month, how many we sold, because we know that the livelihood of our cemetery is on our heritage. And so we need to be tracking our property sales. Our sales could be high, but we could be selling a lot of merchandise versus property sales by the year. And and exactly what your family service counselors are doing. And in here, this is the system was actually, our demo was actually built to have 9 different dashboards, and we can create and build as many dashboards as you want. And with this, it also has a cemetery executive dashboard. That's what I'm showing here. It has a sales manager dashboard. It has a family service counselor dashboard, administration dashboard, even a maintenance superintendent dashboard. So mobility and modern technology, paperless operations, web-enabled apps, digitized mapping, launching sales directly from your map. I love that feature. We do have walk to grave technology, and we do have integration with Cemetery 360. Marketing, you can do many different marketing campaigns, and to whatever that you're looking for, especially like if you have a floral program that you run a couple of times a year, or you have Memorial Day programs, you have Mother's Day programs, you can send out a mass email, to your folks where you actually have, sorry about that, folks, where you can actually send that out and and get your customers to come in and be available to attend the services. In corporate leads, opportunities, quotes. And one of the things I really like about it also is that each garden, for the most part, in most cemeteries, are priced out differently according to their age or according to their how many spaces they have. And so in this, you actually build that. You just add the pricing rules in there. And then all the information in one. It got built-in work orders, and you can also just be very schedulable, especially or searchable when you're looking for a loved one or just an owner. This is what just a snapshot of what the Axiom mapping looks like. And in here, all these are color coded. The red is the one where they have a burial. The pink is where it was actually purchased pre-need, and the green is that is available to purchase. And this is what a work order would look like. And this is a list of some of the work orders that I actually created so you guys could see. And this right here is a list of the burials that has taken place for the week. And this is the search feature for deceased search. And you just populate in their name, and it just gives you a list of people that, let's see, I think like I just typed in JON, and this is so far what has popped up. And then, of course, you can stream all the way down to the actual person. Walk to grave technology, love that. Whereas like, being in a selling situation in a family's home, well, exactly where is that grave? Well, instead of us pulling out a map, you can actually open up your laptop, or you can actually do this from your phone. You can actually walk to that grave and show that family exactly where that space is in your cemetery. So Axiom guarantees your success. How does it? Well, it's hands-on implementation. And because we have a team that will implement your system, of course, we will do a data cleansing with your all's help as well. And, we need to get good information going into your system so you can pull good information out. And it's going to be a new outlook, and created very quickly and affordable. On-time product delivery, on budget. We do a price guarantee. It's not an estimate. We have 30 years of implementing these solutions, or different types of solutions, ongoing support, and we want to provide a long-term commitment to you guys. So I just want to say thank you guys for attending the webinar. Here is my contact information. Please, and like Lauren said, she's going to be sending this out to you guys shortly. Should be there within 24 hours. So if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me directly, and I'll be able to answer any questions that y'all may have. Thank you very much. Lauren, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kent, for that presentation. We hope that y'all saw a little bit of Axiom and maybe are interested. If so, and if you have any questions, please visit us at jmtconsulting.com. And we would love to be able to help out and set up a meeting with Kent, our solution specialist, and get the ball rolling. So if you book a consultation with us by next Friday, August 6th, at jmtconsulting.com/book, then you'll get a $10 Starbucks gift card. So just a little something fun that we're doing. But we hope that y'all enjoyed the webinar today, and we look forward to hearing from you. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Just thank you again, Kent.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lauren. Bye-bye.
Bye.